Hi, my name is Letitia Peters, and I'm doing my introduction video for our capstone class for our BSN. I've been in class with most of you before, and if not, well, nice to meet you and welcome. And I'm going to go ahead and go over a few things in my video. First is basically where I come from. Second will be my inspiration for how I decided to become a nurse, and then I'm going to go over my education and where I obtained my ADN, and then I will go over my experience, and finally we'll go over my goals after I obtain my BSN. So here we go. So a little bit about where I come from. So I was born and raised in California, but I moved to Post Falls in Idaho about 2 years ago. And I just love living here. People are very, very nice and genuine and just great people. I really enjoy working with them. And kind of right here is kind of neat about Post Falls. If you see my cursor, this is our famous Post Falls. This is where the waters from the snowmelt actually come to, and this is where the water is let in and out, or not really let in, but basically when the dam is up, then it forms the lakes and that type of thing. But when we need to let water out, when the snow melts, they let the gates up, and you get this beautiful falls. So it's kind of really neat, and really enjoy living in this area. It's kind of something unique to our area in Post Falls. I do live in Kootenai County, which is an area that contains about 180,000 people, and we're just growing by the leaps and bounds. I work in Kootenai County, where I work in Coeur d'Alene, and the Coeur d'Alene area is the #1 growth as far as moving in and real estate in the country. They're telling us as far as what our local media says. So exciting, but a little bit scary, because you might get overpopulation that way, but we'll see how that turns out. So let's go ahead and talk about my inspiration for becoming a nurse. So basically, if you've been in class with me before, you've heard it. My family, I come from a lot of nurses. So basically my inspiration to become a nurse has been my family. My grandma and my aunts were the first to become nurses, and I was able to watch them as I grew up and how they enjoyed their life as a nurse and providing care for other people, and it was really nice. And so my grandma became a nurse, my aunt became a nurse, I then became a nurse, then my mom became a nurse, and then my cousin became a nurse. So pretty neat to have that camaraderie, not just being family, but having that nursing camaraderie. Next, I would like to speak about my education and where I obtained my my ADN from, and that was from Yuba College in Marysville, California. As far as my experience, I've been a nurse for, around 27 years. I'm working on that 30 mark pretty soon. And so anyway, I've had a few years of experience, probably only maybe a year and a half or so med-surg, about 4 years in labor and delivery, and about a year and a half or so in performance improvement. And that was fun, interesting, challenging, trying to get people to work on the same team as you for the same goal is interesting, and PI is a lot of that. So performance improvement is a lot of that. Clinic management is what I spent most of my career doing. Very rewarding, very challenging, but very rewarding. I spent about 4 years in home health, and that was very exciting and neat. It's a whole new area of nursing. Providing care for people in their home is a lot different than providing care for people in a clinical setting. A lot of interesting experiences that can happen out there. And then I'm currently doing advice and triage for OBGYN practice, and I just absolutely love it and just enjoy working with our patients in person and on the phone. I do a lot of telephone triage, so I really love that, and which comes to my final topic of where I see myself in the future after obtaining my BSN. And I really, really love my job as an advice nurse, triage nurse, and find it really rewarding. And I find that I'm able to, see patients in person when I do nurse visits and give them injections. I do a lot of education. I do a lot of advising and walking people through things, and it's just very rewarding. So, not the most popular answer, but I just would like to finish out my nursing career in the position that I am in now. So anyway, that is my presentation for our introduction for our capstone class. And here is to a great course and finishing our BSN. All right. Bye.